Crypto continues to gyrate. Number one, Monday, pretty light in terms of economic data. The NAHB housing market index will come out on Monday. Minimal impact on the market, very low grade. We also have a 3 and 6 month T-bill auction. That's almost a non-event. Really, the auctions that are important are the 5-year, the 10-year, and anything beyond that. Tuesday, you have building permits, housing permits, Red Book year over year. Those are generally important. On Wednesday, we have some mortgage purchase index, so some more housing data, existing home sales, crude inventories as well. Thursday is the big day, right? So if you're looking for which day will have the most impactful economic news, next week, Tuesday, the core and regular PCE data. That's the favored inflation gauge. Now, again, remember, this past week, we heard from Jerome Powell pricing in 3 rate cuts in 2024. And then this morning, Fed President Williams came out and said, no, that's not necessarily going to be the case, to talk the markets back from this crazy rally we've seen. So again, what will this PCE inflation data show us? Will it guide us more towards what Jerome Powell said or more towards what we've seen from Williams here? All right, obviously jobless claims will go off and so on and so forth. Same thing on Friday. We'll have some other economic news. Now, very quickly, what I want to do is just jump into the screens here. I want to look at this chart. Semiconductors remain exceptionally overbought into resistance with a 2, 4, 6, 7 time count. So I'm expecting a pullback next week on the semiconductors. Again, really remarkable moves on the semis. But again, looking at an overbought scenario, take a look at that trend line. Again, the trend line, beautiful in terms of its purpose, its connection right there as we continue to hit new all-time highs. Other things to look for next week, you want to follow the big cap, mega cap plays. Do those continue to lead? I've been pointing out the fact that you still have this bearish pattern development on Microsoft. Again, if you're thinking this market's going to continue higher in the new year, Microsoft should not be putting in bearish pattern formation. So stuff like that I'm going to be watching as well while I'm on the cruise. Lastly, again, talking about gold, let's take a look really quickly at gold. Gold had a great bounce in the second half of this week. The first thing you want on the gold chart is to close above 2080. That's that previous multi-hit of this double, triple, quadruple top. If we close above that, then that would be the highest daily close, a new closing all-time high. Not the highest all-time high, obviously, but the closing all-time high. But I do think it kickstarts a move to the upside. And then lastly, if we take a look at crypto, guys, crypto continues to gyrate. We've had some down days. We've had some up days. We've had some down days. There's a trend line here sloping up. Let's watch to see if we break to the downside. That downside level's around 41,300. If we get below that on a daily closing basis, look for 38,000. If we get basically above 44,000, you might be headed to 48 to 50,000. Again, that's my max upside target. So really, again, when you get this sloppy kind of chop where you get a big down candle, then a few green up candles, and then a red candle, essentially what that's telling you is it's trying to figure itself out. Don't try to be a He-Man. You don't want to guess on this and just go with it. Wait for one way to break, and then that's the direction price is likely to go. So again, guys, as we kind of circle back here, I just want everyone to be ready. Yet next week, while we're coming into the holidays, obviously Christmas and New Year's, there still will be action in this market. You got to stay in tune with it because it will be determining.
Hey folks, welcome back to Crypto Street, the hottest spot for your crypto fix. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, cause today's ride is wilder than ever. Bitcoin took a dip below $41,000, breaking hearts after an 8-week winning streak. Why the sudden breakup? Well, Senator Elizabeth Warren's Anti-Money Laundering Act has the crypto community on edge. It's like crypto's doing the regulatory cha-cha. Monday Madness, we're in for a thrill with BTC spot ETF news, U.S. lawmakers, and the SEC shaking things up. But the real headliner? The SEC versus Coinbase showdown. Will Coinbase win the regulatory tug-of-war? January 17, 2024 marks the day of reckoning. It's a crypto courtroom drama like no other. Tech Talk time. BTC is doing the technical tango, holding above EMAs like a crypto maestro. But watch out, bears, a fall below $40,800 and we're in for a wild ride to $39,600. Meanwhile, Ethereum's got grand plans for 2024. JP Morgan's crystal ball predicts Ether outshining Bitcoin thanks to a tech upgrade. Get ready for the Ethereum extravaganza. JP Morgan's predicting Ether to outshine Bitcoin in 2024. Why? It's all about the tech upgrade dance called EIP 4844 proto-dank sharding. Ethereum's getting a power-up handling 100,000 transactions per second. Move over Bitcoin. Ether's taking the stage. Morgan's got more tea to spill. They're pouring cold water on Bitcoin's halving hype, thinking the market's seen it all before. But here's the kicker. Spot-based Bitcoin ETFs might not be the golden ticket everyone's dreaming of. The analysts are side-eyeing the existing ETFs in Canada and Europe. Will the SEC approval really make it rain crypto? Bitcoin, oh Bitcoin. Morgan warns of overhyped investors on the brink of a roller coaster ride. Spot Bitcoin ETH approval fever might see $2.7 billion leaving the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Buckle up, crypto thrill seekers. It's about to get bumpy. Now, let's continue our enlightening discussion with Gareth Soloway.
So a couple things from my side here. And so number one, I think you mentioned about, is he seeing something that we're not seeing or that the markets are not seeing? Because certainly the markets rejoiced yesterday, and they're not, at least the retail investors, the stock market ripped higher, risk assets ripped higher, gold, silver ripped higher. I mean, everything ripped higher, frankly, yesterday. And so the bigger question I think that you brought up is he seeing something which is causing him to pivot sooner than we all thought, right? I mean, I think it surprised each and every one of us. The other question I have, and I throw this out to Scott or Mike, is one of the thoughts I had was, you have $34 trillion in U.S. debt, right? And basically $7.6 trillion within the next 12 months is rolling over. Is it possible that we've heard Janet Yellen talking a lot that they realize they have to get these rates down sooner than later to refinance this debt? Or is that irrelevant? Because I think, you look at the difference of 5% versus 3.5% on $7.6 trillion. It's massive. That's a massive difference in interest payments. So that would be just one thing I would say. The other thing I would say is, does him pivoting earlier, is that a factor of the coming elections in November, where if he pivots too close to the elections, it could influence the election? Look, turning to kind of Bitcoin and the price action, what can we make of all this chop, right? I mean, we had an almost 10% correction. Now we've snapped back where we're still below the highs. I mean, this is just price trying to figure itself out and trying to decide if the Bitcoin ETF gets approved anytime, or what's the deal here. In terms of the altcoin market, like, this is something I've been kind of trying to come to terms with, is what's the difference between the mindset of the investor in the altcoin market, where I'm seeing 3x, 5x, 10x type moves versus the past bull markets? Is there any difference? I mean, is this just repeating the insanity? Microsoft's daily chart. And, I was talking about this recently, this is a bear flag. And even yesterday when the markets were ripping, Microsoft was flat on the day, and you could see the breakdown today. And ultimately, I guess the question is, it seems like we're starting to lose the leadership of the Magnificent Seven, if you will. Like, if you look at Google today, Google's negative, right? If we look at Amazon today, Amazon's negative. Can the market hold? Is there anything to this, or is this just kind of a switch to other assets like in the Russell, or is it telling us something? Yeah. The last thing I'll say too is just to take a look at, we were talking about the leadership changing from the Magnificent Seven to some others, and just to show you here, I mean, this is just one stock to show you. And I happen to be in this when they reported earnings right here, and I got crushed on it. It fell all the way down from basically about $30 down to about $20. And then look at the rise, and this is on no news, literally no news, and just the market environment. It went from $20, and in 3 weeks basically has topped out. And who knows if this is the top, but back to $47. And so it just shows you, for me, I look at this and I say there's no news. Their earnings actually caused them to collapse. So fundamentally, is this more of a dash for trash? Just like, Bitcoin runs first, you could equate Bitcoin to the Magnificent Seven. And now money's like, okay, these things have run up. Now let's take some money and put it in all the other crap and let it run. And
that wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.